Paws up. Good job.
All right, so
Head
what
down.
I want you to do first is go through some of your...
Sit pretty. All right. You're gonna spin. Good girl. Years ago, I used to watch David Letterman's stupid pet tricks on TV. Now, a lot of those pet tricks were actually much more difficult than they looked like. Well, these days, people are teaching their dogs all kinds of really cool tricks, and they're even getting certifications. That's today on NSK9. All right, back up, back up. All right, limp, limp. Good girl. All right, up, up. You gonna spin? She's just trying to get the treat.
She's playing you really good.
I know she is. She's like, I know how to do this.
Yeah.
She knows how to make me feel guilty. That's the...
And then you give it.
Oh, that's funny.
This is Missy. She's a 4-year-old miniature American Shepherd. She really likes food.
How did you end up with a miniature American Shepherd?
I really like the herding breeds, and to me this is like the ideal size. It's not too big, it's portable, they love to work.
And she does tricks.
Yeah.
And some other things.
Yeah, and a lot of stuff.
So, well, why don't we get right into it and let's see some of her tricks.
Pretty. Pretty. Good girl.
Wow. Okay, that is really impressive.
There's a few, yeah.
That must have taken a lot of work.
Yeah, just a little bit every day, and she enjoys it. They're smart, so they catch on. Whatever you reward, they repeat. So.
What got you interested in teaching your dog tricks?
I think the big thing is that I have a border collie, and then I have Missy, and another herding breed, and they require a lot of mental stimulation. So you can actually never really tire them out physically. So mentally, you're able to tire them out by just getting them to do stuff, making them think. And I think there's a lot of value to getting them working with us, and it's a great bonding exercise.
And she seems, watching her do that, she seems to be having a heck of a lot of fun doing that too, right?
It's enjoyable because it's always positive. She kind of gets to control the entire game. And
so how long ago did you get into I guess everybody growing up does the like, you know, shake a paw and stuff, right?
The little basic stuff.
But I mean, when did you get serious about tricks?
It was actually in grade 6. I went with my school to see Daniel and the Super Dogs, which is like an agility movie. Yeah. So I started competing in agility with a little terrier mix, and from there on I've realized how many things they can learn. So I just started doing tricks, and every dog I've learned kind of how to motivate them better and how to make them more excited to work.
So what I remember of tricks is sort of growing up with my dog and doing the, you know, shake a paw or play dead.
Yeah.
But this is like at a whole other level.
Yeah.
Or I guess I remember David Letterman's stupid pet tricks too, right?
Some were really impressive.
Yeah, well they were, right? Like, I mean, he always called them the stupid pet tricks, but they really weren't, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
they're harder to learn than it looks, right?
Right, yeah.
So, all right, maybe she wants to show us another trick, I think. She's staring right at you, so.
I'm gonna get her to, Missy, this is probably my favorite. Missy, are you scared? Are you scared? Good girl. Missy, are you scared? Yeah, are you scared? Yes, good girl. Down, cross, good girl. Cross, 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 cross. Good girl. Bow, Yeah, super. Good girl.
Are certain dogs harder than others? I mean, because you have a border collie and then this one, are they?
I think it's mostly like as long as you start like with the foundations, it's really not that hard. It's just when you try to go from knowing nothing to the most complicated trick, it gets really hard. But once they understand the basics, I know they're smart, but you can teach this to any dog. It's just kind of breaking it down.
So you keep remembering other tricks now, right?
Yeah.
Elise is not only a trick enthusiast, she's a certified professional dog trainer. And tricks to her have far more benefits than just fun. Do you think that obedience is really a good connection to the tricks?
Yeah, I think the way I do obedience, it's basically just a different trick for them. Like it's all through positive reinforcement. So the easier, I teach my puppies tricks before I teach them anything else. So when we go to do obedience, it's just a one long trick. So it's just
So you're using tricks to teach obedience in a way.
Yeah,
Oh,
and I'll throw it in to keep it interesting, and I don't know, she can do basically anything.
It must take an incredible amount of patience on your part too.
Yeah, I think I've developed patience because of it, but yeah, it's just about not getting frustrated because they are trying their hardest. Sometimes it's easy to like get fed up, but it's just kind of taking it a step back and making it a little bit easier because they're trying.
Recognizing that your dog is trying as hard as they can is important because, of course, most tricks aren't natural movements for dogs.
Back up. Good girl. So I'd like her to be able to walk forward while doing that. I know, there's all kinds of hidden treats.
And some of those things like this, I mean, they're very unnatural for a dog.
Very. So it's just about slowly building it up. Good girl. Okay, good girl. Wow. Yeah, a lot of tricks are unnatural. So it's kind of taking that in consideration. Like they need to build that muscle memory. It's not something they would normally do.
And it must build their confidence as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it definitely does because they learn how to communicate with you and yeah.
It does look like she's having a heck of a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah, it's all on her. I'm not forcing her to do anything. She just wants the treats. So she's like, okay, what can I get?
So it's what can I do to get a treat?
Yeah, without being too neurotic. So I don't want her offering all kinds of stuff. She's waiting for a cue and then she gets to perform and then get a treat.
Sound phobias are really common and they can be very difficult to treat. So the first thing I usually try to do is get people to preemptively treat. So that means that if you know that there's going to be, say, fireworks or something like that on Canada Day, then try to put them in something called a thunder shirt first, which is a very tight shirt that's designed to kind of keep them comfortable during stressful events. It sounds foolish, but it can work. But if that doesn't work, then I do recommend talking to your veterinarian to see if there's something that they can give to help calm them down before they get stressed out.
Go reverse. 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 Back, back, back. Go scoop. Scoop. Go peek. Go peek. Good girl. Down. Roll. Good girl. See? Let's go over. Good girl.
So she almost has like routines too.
Yeah, trying to like make them so they like combine, I guess.
Yeah, so instead of just, which is kind of neat, right?
Yeah.
Like instead of just having that one trick, you're actually piecing it together like a routine.
Yeah. Just you can go over. Over. Good. Over. Good. Go back. Let's go straight. Let's go straight. Good. Go straight. Yes. Good.
Wow.
What else do you know? Good girl. You say hi? Good girl. Yeah. Yeah. Good girl.
So you've been doing this long before this was cool.
Yeah,
Right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, 'cause the past
way
year-
before the titles.
Yeah, because this
Yeah.
has become really cool in the past
Yeah.
year, but like,
Yeah,
you've
it's
been at
probably
this a long
been-
time.
Probably 12, 14 years, I guess.
Did someone say titles? Oh yeah, there are titles. And ribbons. And it's only exploded since the 2020 pandemic.
So tricks have become a huge thing. And it kind of coincided between the pandemic and the Canadian Kennel Club recognizing trick dog titles. So trick dog titles have been around for a while, but they weren't really a big thing, particularly in this area. In Nova Scotia, they weren't really a big thing, but the Canadian Kennel Club said that they were going to start recognizing them. And then the pandemic hit, and everybody was stuck home with their dogs because trick titling can be done virtually. My inbox literally blew up with videos upon videos of dogs and birds and other such
it's not
things.
just dogs, is
It's
it?
not just dogs. You can actually get a trick title on pretty much any species. But it's mainly dogs that I've gotten to evaluate, and my inbox literally blew up with trick titles.
Barb's email blew up because she's a judge for trick titling.
Head down.
Tricks is something she became involved in just prior to the pandemic lockdowns.
I started trick titling myself with Camo because I needed something to do with him to keep him busy when we weren't working, and this was pre-pandemic. And he actually became only the 4th Springer Spaniel in the world to have a trick dog championship, and only the 2nd in Canada.
Barbara has come to Christine Graham's Wind and Fog Kennels to judge one of Christine's Shelties for a trick title. Christine comes from a more formal background of training and obedience, rally and confirmation. But she's fallen for tricks, even though she didn't think she would. And now even teaches them herself.
Well, you know what? I gotta tell you, none of my dogs, people go, what can your dog do? I said, well, it's got its CD, it's got its CDX, it's got its championship. No, but can it do anything? I'm like, it can heel off leash, you know, and all this kind. No, but can it do anything? I don't do anything. Like shake a paw. I'm like, no, I usually don't teach that stuff. But it got to the point where I've done a lot of work, and plus I was in one class. We could run one of our scent classes, and my dog got bored. So I had to do something. So I started with shake a paw. And during COVID, people couldn't do their rally. They couldn't do their obedience. They could in small space, but tricks, you can do it in a small space.
And you can learn it at home.
You can learn it at home. You can get it off of YouTube. And you only there was different levels that you could get, which was a beginner, an excellent, an advanced, and an excellent. So people just kept starting tricks. And they can be as easy or as difficult as you want. You use food and targeting and things like that. And it just creates a nice bond with your dog, and you can do something. So yeah, stupid pet tricks. Yeah, but they get a title and you get a ribbon.
And it's all about the ribbons, as we've learned
ribbon,
before.
yes. Some people think it's silly, but it's still your dog is doing something. And I run 2 tricks classes, but I always tell people it's still obedience. They're still doing something for you. But I'll tell you, teach paws up really fast. They can do that faster than they can teach it down. Ring a bell? Yep, better than doing a downstay. Because it's fun and it's an outcome for the people to see versus, oh, my dog can do a downstay.
You know what? It's something that I believed in because it was something that encouraged people to do things with their dogs. And a lot of people wouldn't go to obedience class because they didn't want to do the traditional obedience class, but they do tricks. And when you start at the novice level, the tricks
This is
are
the kind of
basic
stuff that-
obedience.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of
They're
stuff.
family pet stuff. It's when you get in the higher stuff that you know, the parlor tricks. But the general stuff, it starts with sits and downs and comes and leave it. Camel, do you want to go on a trip? I need to take some luggage.
I've even got older dogs. I've got a 9-year-old English foxhound that one of my friends adopted from Ontario. And I watch his eyes dance. He's doing something. He's having a blast. He was board and obedience classes, but 9 years old, giving him something different to do.
So if somebody wanted to teach their dog
How to do
tricks
stuff.
like beyond the basic stuff, where would you recommend they start?
Well, there's a ton of great YouTube videos. You can basically learn anything, but it's just kind of being creative and just trial and error. Just think about what your end goal is, but don't try to just get that. Think about all the breaking steps, like the little steps. So like even her hiding her face, it's like the start of it is basically paw. So it's like lifting her paw and then slowly molding it for her paw to be covering her face. It's just kind of breaking down the end goal.
Hey, because you don't
the
start
little
right
steps.
from
The start,
move
no,
your...
right. It's even like just crossing the paws.
Well, it
it's
looks like a
it's-
dance move, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like slowly lifting the paw, slowly, like it's just kind of breaking it all up. And
I have seen a dog walk a horse, and I've seen a dog ride a horse. Those are probably
They must be in the expert category.
The walking the horse kind of falls into the intermediate because it's still taking the lead rope, but it does fall into the expert category for the riding the horse. So it's a little Swedish Valhund, and yeah, he rides his horse. So they've worked both with the horse and the dog, and it's the most adorable thing. And I've seen a bird play basketball.
Dogs do get fevers, and for many of the same reasons that people do. It may indicate that the pet is fighting off an infection or systemic inflammation in the body. Contrary to popular belief, the temperature of the earlobe is actually not a good indicator of if your dog has a fever. However, owners may note a change in the pet's behavior at home, such as going off food or even becoming lethargic.
yep. Good.
Do you think she has favorite tricks?
Oh, 100%. Like she really likes just backing up, back up, back up. Yes.
Have you decided to get any titles and tricks? I know you see you have some ribbons in other sports, but
No, I know I can do the tricks. I don't
There's no
really
point
need a
getting the
title.
title.
No, she doesn't care about the titles.
so you're not one of those people that just needs a wall of ribbons. I mean, you have some ribbons.
But I don't need that. No, I do it for fun. I'm not doing it for the ribbons.
How many dogs have you taught tricks to?
A lot. I have 3 of my own currently, but I've had some before and other people's dogs, and so quite a few.
What's the best part of it?
It's just kind of rewarding seeing them like put it all together and enjoying it, and just having like they know when it's training time. Like she enjoys it. It's just a fun way to be able to communicate with your dog, I guess. And trick training is so easy. Like you can do it in your house, but you can also go to a random parking lot and do it. You can bring it everywhere. It's just a really easy sport.
Like everybody is doing it, like our confirmation people, our obedience people, things like that. Everybody's getting into it because it's something we can do at home with our dogs, which is fun.
I was surprised at how many dogs I didn't even, there's dogs that I knew would be titling for it, but there's a lot of dogs that I didn't know would be titling. I've also had kids 5 or 6 title their dogs, their parents videotaped them.
And I never thought I'd be teaching classes with it either. I have 10 people in 2 different classes, mind you, because of COVID, that they love it. They think it's great, They go home and show their friends, or show their grandparents. I have some kids in my class, and they think it's the greatest thing.
What's the funniest thing that's happened as you've been teaching tricks over the years?
Letting them create their own version, like of the trick that you're thinking that you want, and then they kind of go in a direction and with it, and you end up with that specific trick. Yes, good girl.
That must take a bit of work to not make sure that she doesn't grip it too strong.
Yeah,
too,
she
right?
has a pretty soft nose, but
What did you think when you first heard that tricks would be an official certification?
I thought it was dumb. But my dog, this one, he loves it. It's given great confidence. And I mean, it brings me joy to watch him ring a bell.
Because now you're kind of happy about it.
Oh,
Right?
you know what? I laugh at him. And it sounds terrible. I can't shoot him and get him to die. We're stuck on that one, and it's very frustrating. People go, Chris, that's a really awful thing to say, but we're working on it. We'll get there. But to watch him do these behaviors,
That's the one that every kid wants.
I know, and I teach it in my classes, but it's to get him on his side. It's it's a challenge, but we're working on it. But to watch him do things, it's hilarious. Have you ever seen the commercial with the cats?
Yeah.
Ringing the bell? Well, that's what he thinks he's doing. He said, I ring the bell off enough, she'll give me a cookie. But you know what? I giggle when my dog, and it takes me a lot but I giggle when my dog rings his bell. It's hilarious because he hits it and he goes, his eyes just dance. It's hilarious. I do it in scent class just because everybody wants to hear him ring his bell.
Missy, hold. How do you hold this one? You gonna hold? Missy, hold. Sit pretty. You gonna bring it to me? Oh, thank you. Here you go. That's awesome. I mean, you could have hours of fun with this.
Yeah, if you're like sitting at the table and you need something, you can go tell her to get it. And
Have you taught her to get a beer from the fridge yet?
I don't think I want her to open the fridge.
No. I was wondering that, see, because people talked about how that's one of the tricks people will teach their dog is to open the fridge, and I said, you might be going down a rabbit hole with
Yeah. And this thing loves food, so it would not be good.
Your fridge would be empty.
Yeah.
Since I've tried my hand at leading a trick, maybe, before I go, it's time to learn to be part of a trick. I mean, the whole point of tricks is to be a partner with your dog. It's like dog yoga. Hello. So now people obviously know that you do these tricks.
Yeah.
Do you get, when you're with your dog places, do people ask you to do tricks now?
I enjoy going to Halifax and showing off my dog's tricks because it does get quite a crowd, but yeah, I think I get a lot more advice about how to teach their dogs the tricks than seeing my dogs do the tricks. But
Because everybody wants their dog to be able to do it, right?
Yeah. But it just has to put the time and effort into it. And
So when you go to Halifax to show off the tricks, where do you go to show off?
kind of anywhere where there's a group of people, you just kind of start. I'll get her to jump on a rock or on the table and just start her doing tricks. And
So you're in the park or something just doing tricks.
Yeah, just get her off the leash. She doesn't want to go anywhere because I have the treats. And
Sounds like a busker.
yeah, basically for free.
For free.
So yeah. Back up.
Visit us online to tell us your dog stories for possible inclusion in future episodes. And don't forget to share photos of your canine friends on social media with the hashtag NSK9.
Yes, good girl.
What do you get out of it?
I don't know. I like seeing the results, but I also like it helps build an engagement. Like she loves to work with me because it's such a fun thing. I think that's what I get out of it. Just enjoying spending time with my dog. Let's see, over. Good, over. Good, over. Good, over. Yes.
It's not just people who enjoy puzzles. Dogs have fun with them too. It's called Herzenwerk, and that's next week on NSK9.
We know our dogs are smart, but they haven't learned the techniques yet. You want them to learn it, and learning is best when they are calm. So if you make sure that you take it in steps and always start easy and make it more difficult over time, then the dog can stay calm and can really learn what to do.